Do you ever feel a disconnect between your big dreams and your actual energy level? You keep putting things off, telling yourself tomorrow, but that day never arrives. You really want to do awesome stuff, like writing a book, getting fit, mastering a new skill, or nailing a tough new hobby, but somehow you just end up glued to scrolling your phone or watching TV instead. This isn't a sign of permanent laziness. It happens because the tasks feel overwhelmingly large. When a goal seems too difficult, your brain naturally seeks an easier, more comfortable alternative. The good news is that this inertia is just a habit, and habits can be changed. Think about the times you've been stuck. It's often because the goal felt impossible. Saving money feels too restrictive if it means cutting back on everything. Getting healthy feels exhausting if it means running every day. Your brain is simply wired to avoid pain and seek comfort. But you can learn to outsmart this natural tendency. Here are 3 simple, actionable steps to transition from feeling stuck to actively pursuing what matters. 1. The power of chunking. Making tasks small for big wins big. Overwhelming goals are the silent assassins of motivation. That monumental task looming on your horizon, be it writing a novel, launching a business, or mastering a new skill, is often so intimidating that it paralyzes you before you even begin. The human mind naturally shrinks from massive, undefined effort. The solution is simple yet profound. Break it down. This strategy, often called chunking, transforms an insurmountable project into a series of manageable, bite-sized actions. Instead of focusing on the terrifying prospect of a 200-page book, your immediate, sole focus should be on generating just one perfect sentence today. This single, achievable step demystifies the task. It dramatically reduces the initial friction and the inherent fear of starting that accompanies any major undertaking. The psychological edge of small steps. The genius of making tasks small lies in its psychological impact. Every completed mini-task delivers a crucial boost of positive reinforcement. When you write that one sentence or practice that one chord, your brain releases a small dose of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. This reward system reinforces the behavior, making you more likely to repeat it and tackle the next small step. It shifts your internal narrative from "I can't do this huge thing" to "I already did that small thing. What's next?" Consider the analogy of climbing a mountain. No one attempts to quantum leap from base camp to the summit. The ascent is achieved through a deliberate, consistent progression. One step, then another, then another. Each successful step solidifies your footing, builds your endurance, and confirms your capacity for the challenge. Concrete application. From goals to action. To apply this principle effectively, translate your grand aspirations into microscopic action items. If your goal is to lose 50 pounds, don't focus on the total number. Focus on drinking 1 extra glass of water today or taking a 5-minute walk after dinner. If you want to learn a new language, don't try to memorize an entire conjugation table. Practice identifying and using one new verb in a simple sentence. If you are struggling with clutter, don't envision an entirely clean house. Commit to clearing 1 square foot of desk space. For a musician, the aim is not to instantly master a whole song. It is to perfect the finger placement for 1 single chord. That chord is the immediate, non-negotiable task. Once mastered, it becomes a permanent building block. The fundamental shift in perspective here is focusing entirely on progress, not perfection. Perfectionism is often just procrastination in a fancy cloak. It demands an impossible standard from the start. Progress, however, simply demands action. Small, consistent, and repeated efforts, the cumulative power of these tiny increments will, with absolute certainty, inevitably lead to monumental results over time. By honoring the small task today, you guarantee the big outcome tomorrow. 2. The power of effortless momentum. Crafting sustainable routines. Don't rely on willpower design for success. A common belief is that achieving goals requires immense willpower, But this is a fundamentally flawed and unsustainable approach. Willpower is a finite resource, fluctuating based on stress, fatigue, and decision fatigue. Relying on it is like trying to fuel a marathon with a single cup of coffee. It is destined to fail. Instead of fighting an internal battle every morning, the key to lasting change lies in replacing reliance on raw discipline with strategic, simple routines. Routines as your training wheels and launchpad routines are not restrictive. They are liberating. They serve as cognitive training wheels, simplifying complex or resistance-inducing actions until the behavior becomes second nature and automatic, non-negotiable part of your day. By predetermining the course of action, you bypass the mental energy required for deliberation, reservation, and decision-making. This conservation of mental energy is crucial for maintaining consistency and building momentum. The strategy of the clear path. The most effective routines are built on the principle of minimal friction. This means creating a clear, easy path from your current state to the desired action. For example, if your goal is to incorporate exercise into your life, the willpower trap. You wake up, lie in bed debating whether to work out, search for your gear, and by the time you're ready, the mental cost has outweighed the perceived benefit, leading to abandonment. The routine solution. Lay your entire workout ensemble shoes, socks, shirt, and shorts, not just near your bed, but strategically positioned on the floor or a chair right beside where you step out. When you wake, the very act of standing places you directly into the starting ritual. The first step is now physically easier than trying to avoid it. Actionable starting points. Micro-habits for macro change. The secret to establishing a powerful routine is to start incredibly small, so small, in fact, that it feels almost silly to resist. These tiny habits, or micro-habits, build the foundational structure required for significant growth. You are essentially training your brain to crave the small win. Consider these impactful, low-effort routines you can begin integrating today. 1. The morning hydration anchor. Immediately upon waking, before checking your phone or making coffee, drink a full glass, 8 to 12 ounces of water. This simple act kickstarts your metabolism, aids mental clarity, and anchors the rest of your morning ritual. 2. The daily planning ritual. Before shutting down your computer or leaving your desk for the evening, take 5 minutes to write down the 3 most important tasks, emitt's, for the next day. This preloads your brain, ensuring you wake up with immediate focus and purpose, eliminating the morning scramble. 3. The wind down buffer. 30 minutes before your intended bedtime, plug your phone into a room other than your bedroom and pick up a physical book or a non-backlit e-reader. This clear boundary separates your hyperstimulated day from your sleep state, dramatically improving sleep quality. These seemingly insignificant, small habits create essential structure and generate self-reinforcing momentum. Every time you successfully complete an easy routine, you are not just ticking off a box. You are casting a vote for the person you want to become, making the next positive action feel more inevitable and less like a struggle. The goal is to transition from performing a task to becoming the type of person who effortlessly does it. 3. Overcoming inertia. The power of the 2-minute rule, the most formidable barrier to accomplishing any goal is not the complexity of the task itself, but the initial resistance, the sheer friction of getting started. This psychological inertia is what keeps us glued to the couch, procrastinating on the most important items on our to-do list. The key to breaking this cycle lies in the simple, yet profound, strategy known as the 2-minute rule. The principle is straightforward and rooted in behavioral psychology. Promise yourself that you will dedicate yourself to the task for a period of just 2 minutes. This brief duration is intentionally non-intimidating and feels almost negligible, making it easier for your mind to accept the commitment. By reducing the scope of the initial effort to this minimal time frame, you bypass the overwhelming feeling that often accompanies a large, daunting project. Practical application. Want to read a book, Instead of committing to a chapter or a set amount of time, simply pick up the book and read a single page. That's all. Need to clean a messy room? Don't focus on the entire chaos. Tidy one small corner, put away just 3 items, or wipe down one surface. Planning a workout? Just put on your exercise clothes and do 2 minutes of stretching. Procrastinating on a report? Open the document and write the title or the first 2 sentences. The momentum effect. The true genius of the 2-minute rule is not in the 2 minutes of work itself, but in the momentum it creates. The initial push is the hardest part. Once you initiate the action, you fundamentally change your state from being at rest to being in motion. This transition is much like the laws of physics. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. Think of it as pushing a heavy ball down a hill. The initial exertion required to get the ball rolling is considerable, but once it starts, gravity and momentum take over, making it much easier to keep it going. After the 2 minutes are up, you have accomplished the most difficult step, starting. Often, you will find that stopping is now harder than continuing. The small effort has successfully overcome the inertia, and the task no longer feels like a hurdle, but a path you are already walking on. By consistently using the 2-minute rule, you not only make tasks easier to start, but also build powerful habits, transforming overwhelming chores into manageable, regular parts of your routine. Bonus tip: reward yourself, solidifying the habit loop. The initial 2 minutes of effort, though small, are a victory and a powerful catalyst for change. It's crucial to acknowledge and celebrate this start immediately after you've completed the action. This step is not about grand gestures. It's about anchoring the positive feeling of accomplishment to the starting behavior, creating a powerful psychological loop that encourages repetition. The science of celebration. Dopamine release. A well-timed reward triggers the release of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation and pleasure, effectively marking the preceding action, the 2 minutes of effort, as worth repeating. This chemical reinforcement is the core mechanism by which habits are built. Completing the habit loop. A habit is composed of a cue, a routine, and a reward. The initial effort is the routine. The reward completes the loop, making the entire process memorable and appealing. Without a reward, the loop is incomplete, and the motivation to start next time diminishes. Effective reward strategies. The best rewards are small, immediate, and genuinely enjoyable, and they should not undermine the progress you've just made. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, a small candy bar isn't the ideal reward. Auditory reinforcement. Listening to a favorite song, but not the entire album, just the one track. This is a focused, time-bound burst of pleasure. Enjoying a few minutes of a motivational or humorous podcast. Mindful and sensory breaks. Taking a short, mindful break. Stand up, stretch, look out the window, and consciously savor the feeling of having started the task. Sipping a favorite beverage, like a special tea or coffee, purely for the enjoyment of the taste. Engaging a sense. Lighting a pleasant essential oil diffuser or enjoying the scent of a flower. Physical acknowledgement. Giving yourself a mental high five or saying aloud, "I did it. I started." A quick 30-second neck and shoulder stretch. Ticking the task off your to-do list with a sense of satisfaction. Making it sustainable. Rewards make the initial process of starting not just tolerable, but genuinely enjoyable. This positive association overrides the friction and procrastination often associated with large tasks. Over time, the reward shifts from the external act, the song, the tea, to the internal satisfaction of having successfully initiated the task itself. This transformation from external reward to internal satisfaction is the hallmark of a deeply ingrained and self-sustaining habit. By celebrating the start, you are deliberately training your brain to seek out and repeat the behavior. Final takeaway. The truth is, everyone struggles. The people you admire succeeded because they kept going. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Think of your dreams as a tiny spark. Every small action you take is adding fuel. Keep adding fuel, and soon that spark will become a roaring fire. Here is the simple plan for the ambitious but stuck. 1. Simplify. Make tasks small and easy. 2. Automate. Create routines to support your goals. 3. Initiate. Start with a minimum of just 2 minutes of effort. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Pick one thing and take a small step today. Consistency, even in small doses, creates massive change. Your dreams are waiting. Go make them happen. Subscribe now and stay with us for more interesting videos. And also, share your thoughts in the comments.